Imagine English learning being so addictive that you actually want to practice every single day. Not because you force yourself, because your brain craves it. I want that for you. So I have spent years studying the psychology of habit formation, dopamine systems, and language acquisition, and I've boiled it down into a 4-engine formula. And by the way, you have to take notes today because we are going deeper than just basic things, like watch more movies or practice daily. English learning is so much more than that. And let's be real, your fluency deserves so much more. A great system might get you fluent in 6 months and change your life forever, but a terrible system might leave you stuck at intermediate level for years, with broken dreams and wasted time. To figure it out why, let's start with this. It's just this guy watching Netflix in English, with English subtitles, for 2 hours every single day. By the way, since I didn't have anyone to film this guy is actually me. After 6 months, he still cannot have a basic conversation. But then there's this other person. He practiced English 30 minutes a day. No Netflix, no apps, no consuming content. Just speaking out loud to himself, recording himself, listening back. After 3 months, he's conversational. So watching content doesn't work? Wait, slow down. That is not what's going on here. The first person was consuming English. His brain was in recognition mode. The second person was producing English. His brain was in creation mode. And your brain learns addictively when you are producing, but stays stuck when you are only consuming. So if both people were practicing English, but only one became fluent, what should you do? Start with understanding what type of practice actually creates addiction in your brain. And that is what these 4 engines are about. Not just making you practice more, making your brain crave practice. Let me show you something. This is the schedule of a typical English learner. Monday, watch English videos, 1 hour. Tuesday, Duolingo, 30 minutes. Wednesday, read articles, 1 hour. Thursday, listen to podcasts, 45 minutes. Hours have been spent learning English. Some vocabulary was memorized, some grammar was studied, some listening happened. But in its current form, this routine is doomed to fall short of its potential. The reason? This routine is not using the psychological principles that make learning addictive. Think about this. When you play a video game, you can't stop. When you scroll TikTok, hours disappear. When you binge watch Netflix series, you watch just one more episode. Why? Because these activities are psychologically designed to trigger dopamine. And if you apply those same psychological principles to English learning, your brain will crave practice the same way it craves scrolling or gaming. That's what these 4 engines do. Let me show you. Engine 1, the win loop. Your brain releases dopamine when you succeed at something. That dopamine makes you want to do it again. It's a loop. But here's what most English learners do. They studied for weeks. No feedback, no wins, no dopamine. Then they try to speak and they fail. So their brain gets study, failure. No reward, no addiction. But if you structure learning so you get tiny little wins constantly, your brain gets practice, win, practice, win, practice, win. Dopamine floats your system. Learning becomes addictive. So let me show you what this looks like in practice. I had someone very close to me that I helped. He had been studying English for 8 months, reading articles, books, watching videos, using apps, still couldn't hold a 5-10 minute conversation. Then I told him, record yourself speaking for 2 minutes every single day and listen back immediately. That's it. That was the change. Within 2 weeks, he started noticing patterns. I say, every 5 seconds. I always forget the word, although my pronunciation of world is wrong. And because he could hear his mistakes, he could fix them immediately. Practice, record, listen. Spot mistakes, fix it, win. By week 4, he was already having 10-15 minute conversations. Not because he learned 1,000 new words, but because he finally had a feedback loop that gave his brain constant wins. Okay, that's engine 1. There are 3 types of win loops you need. Type 1, instant feedback. Practice something and know immediately if you got it right. AI chatbots that correct you in real time. Language exchange where someone responds immediately. Recording yourself and listening back. Use this for daily practice to build momentum. Type 2 is progress tracking. See your improvement over time. Compare recordings from week 1 to week 4. Track how long you can actually speak without translating. Count how many conversations you can have. Use this for motivation, proof that you're actually getting better. And type 3, social validation. Real people validate your English. Native speakers understand you without asking you to repeat. Someone compliments your pronunciation. You successfully explain something complex. Use this for real-world confidence. The ultimate dopamine hit. Here's the rule. Every practice session must at least include one win loop. If you're just consuming content without feedback, your brain doesn't get any wins. No dopamine, no addiction. But there's a problem with only getting wins. Engine 2, the stretch system. Your brain engages when something is challenging, but achievable. Too easy, you get bored. Too hard, you get frustrated and quit. Video games figured out this decades ago. Level 1 is easy. Level 10 is harder. Level 50 is extremely hard. But you never jump from level 1 to level 50 because you would quit immediately. Most English learners do this. They study basic grammar for 6 months, then try to have a complex psychological conversation. That is jumping from level 1 to level 50. Of course they fail, of course they quit. But if you structure learning with gradual difficulty increases, your brain enters what psychologists call flow state. Flow state is when you're so engaged that you lose track of time. Athletes, for example, call it the zone. It happens when challenge perfectly matches your skill level. And flow state is deeply addictive. Here's how to build this stretch system. So zone number 1 is comfort. Let's say 80% of confidence. You can do this easily. For example, talk about your daily routine. Stay here for week number 1 and 2 of learning something new. Build momentum, get wins. Zone number 2, stretch. 60% of confidence. You can do this, but it requires focus. For example, explaining your opinion on a topic that you care about. Stay here for most of your practice time. This is where growth happens without overwhelm. Zone number 3 is challenge. 40% of confidence. You struggle, but you can complete it with effort. For example, debating a complex topic or watching content without subtitles. Stay here for short bursts. Test your limit. Here's how to tell. If you're not making any mistakes, you are in comfort. If you are making mistakes but pushing through, you are in stretch. If you are freezing up or feeling overwhelmed, you are in challenge. If you stay in comfort zone too long, your brain gets bored. If you jump to challenge zone too fast, your brain gets overwhelmed. The addiction zone is the stretch zone. It's slightly uncomfortable, challenging, but achievable. That is where flow state lives. I learned this the hard way when I started learning English. I would try to discuss philosophy or science way too hard. I would freeze, I would get frustrated and quit. Then I dropped down to the stretch zone, talking about movies I watched, books I read, things I was interested in, but not too complex. Suddenly, I could speak for 20 minutes straight. Not because it was easy, because it was just challenging enough to be engaging, but achievable enough to keep me going. That is the stretch system. Always practice at 60% confidence level. Now, these first 2 engines create engagement, but here's what keeps you coming back every single day. Engine 3 is the novelty switch. Your brain craves novelty. It is an extraordinary survival mechanism. New equals potentiality. Important equals pay attention. But most English learners do the same thing every single day. Same apps, same time of practice, same time. Your brain adapts. Stop paying attention. Stop releasing dopamine. Boredom kills addiction. But if you introduce novelty into your practice, your brain stays alert, curious, engage. And you don't need complicated systems to do this. Here are 3 simple ways. Tactic number 1, rotate practice types. So don't do the same practice every single day. Monday, speaking practice. Tuesday, writing practice. Wednesday, conversation practice. Thursday, listening practice. Friday, speaking again. Your brain never knows what's coming, so it stays engaged. Tactic number 2, change locations. Same practice, different environment. Monday, practice at your desk. Wednesday, practice at a coffee shop. Friday, practice while you're walking. New environment equals your brain releases dopamine for the novelty alone. Tactic number 3, try one new thing weekly. Every week, introduce something new. Week number 1, watch a comedy that you've never seen before. Week 2, talk to someone from a country that you have never talked to before. Week 3, learn slang from a new region. Week 4, try explaining a topic that you've never explained before. That's it. You're not creating confusion. You are introducing enough variety so your brain stays curious. The same routine without novelty equals boredom. Novelty without a routine equals confusion. The novelty switch gives you both. Now, these 3 engines make learning feel good, but this final engine makes it permanent. Engine number 4 is the identity lock. This is the foundation that holds everything else together. The first 3 engines make learning feel good in the moment, but this engine makes you become someone who uses English. Your brain is obsessed with being consistent with your identity. If you see yourself as someone learning English, you practice sometimes when you are motivated. But if you see yourself as an English speaker, you practice because that's who you are. Motivation becomes irrelevant. Think about smokers who try to quit. The ones who say, "I'm trying to quit smoking," often fail. They still identify as smokers. The ones who say, "I'm not a smoker," succeed. They've changed their identity. Same action, different identity, different results. Most learners say, "I'm learning English. I'm trying to get better. I hope I become fluent one day." This identity keeps you in learner mode forever. But if you start saying, "I'm an English speaker. I use English daily. English is just part of who I am," your brain makes you act consistently with that identity. That is the identity law. Once your identity shifts, the behavior becomes automatic. So here's how to activate the identity lock. Step 1 is change your language. Stop saying, "I'm learning English." Start saying, "I speak English," even if you are a beginner, even if you make mistakes. Just say it. Step 2, act like an English speaker. Ask yourself, what would an English speaker do? Change phone language to English. Think through your morning routine in English. Watch movies for enjoyment, not study. Text friends in English when possible. Every action that proves you are an English speaker reinforces that identity. Step 3, collect identity evidence. Your brain believes what it sees. Every day, do one little thing that proves you are an English speaker. Send one text in English. Think one thought in English. Say one sentence out loud in English. I did this myself. For months, I would say, "I'm learning English." Then I switched to, "I'm an English speaker who's still improving." A small change, massive difference. In a few weeks, I stopped asking myself, "What should I practice today?" and started asking, "How will I use English today?" The behavior became automatic. These tiny actions are identity votes. Enough votes in your brain accepts that identity. Once the identity lock clicks, you don't need the win loop to motivate you. You don't need the stretch system to engage you. You don't need the novelty switch to keep you interested. You practice because that is who you are. That is when learning becomes truly permanent. Let's put it all together. Engine 1, the win loop, gives your brain constant feedback and wins. This creates dopamine. Dopamine creates addiction. Engine 2, the stretch system. Stay in the zone that is challenging but achievable. This creates flow state. Flow state creates deep engagement. Engine 3, the novelty switch. Introduce variety without creating confusion. This keeps your brain curious. Curiosity sustains attention. Engine 4, the identity lock. Shift from learner to speaker. This makes behavior automatic. Identity drives consistency. Here's how these engines support each other. The identity lock makes you show up. The win loop gives you dopamine when you practice. The stretch system keeps you in flow state while practicing. And the novelty switch prevents boredom over time. Together, they create a system where you want to practice, practice feels rewarding, practice is engaging, and practice never gets boring. I've been using this system for like 2 years, and I can tell you, English learning stopped feeling like work and it started feeling like just what I do. Like brushing my teeth, like scrolling on my phone, like having coffee in the morning. It's automatic. That is addiction in the best way possible. If you've been struggling to stay consistent, if you tried every app and quit after a week, if motivation fades and you cannot stick to a routine, it's not you, it's your system. So here's what I want you to do right now. Pick an engine, just one, and implement it today. If you choose the win loop, record yourself speaking out loud for 2 minutes. Listen back and notice one thing that you can improve. If you choose the stretch system, identify where you are right now. Comfort, stretch, challenge, then move to the stretch zone the next time you practice. If you choose the novelty switch, just change one thing about your routine tomorrow. Different time, different location, different practice type. If you choose the identity lock, say out loud right now, I'm an English speaker. Then do one thing today that proves it. That is how addiction starts. 6 months from now, you'll either be someone who tried a different system and quit, or someone who rewired their brain and became addicted to learning English. The decision happens today. Just one action. That's it. Your brain is ready to crave English. You just gotta give it the right system. These 4 engines are that system. Now build them.